Sailor does it again. He bought some more Bitcoin, a lot of more Bitcoin, and they're approaching that 1 million Bitcoin mark. What, I don't know. There's really no talking points, but at the end of the day, it just goes to show that no matter what Bitcoin's price is, they just keep buying. Okay, great, perfect. We're going to talk some altcoins today. BitTester saw a little bit of a rally yesterday. It was one of the top gainers in the top 300 yesterday. Since it's pulled back a little bit, what's the reason behind the move? We have a Virtuals protocol update. Is that one of the most, if not the most, undervalued AI altcoin in the space? Avalanche, similar to Polygon, suppressed price, but on-chain metrics are starting to rise. Can we get Rob to change his opinion on Avalanche? We're going to talk about that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Rob, roll the intro.
And it's your boy.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
JP.
Bro, you gotta do the hola, my friend.
Do the what?
The hola.
Hola!
There we go. That's
it's your
good.
boy, JP, the Zen Master.
What's up, man?
We got Rob in the studio today.
We do, yeah. We
right?
kicked him out. We kicked him out. No more Rob. We're upgrading him to my man JP over here. Guys, so today, for any of you that have ever ran a business, you guys know that sometimes you got to call audibles, baby. Mm-hmm. We threw Rob in the back. We brought JP up here. We're doing a hybrid show today. We're doing a hybrid show on the trading show and, of course, the morning show as well. And so we'll cover a little bit of news. We'll look at the markets. JP is we're gonna break down some charts here for you guys. I'll show you my degenerate ways over the weekend, nailing 78x long shorts and 100x longs. You know what? Let's just go here. This is so very, very tight here, okay? But we'll still make 28%. Made $70. Got into a Bitcoin long. I didn't catch the wick to the upside, but I did reverse my position and caught a bigger trade. This was a 78x short on Bitcoin. Made pretty good money on that one. Made out $350. Entry price was just above $67,000. And then the average closing price was $66,037. Again, 78% short or 78x short.
Nice.
And so that's kind of where I'm at, man, is I'm scared to long or stay in longs for too long. But the shorts, they be printing, man. They be printing. So did you hit any trades over the weekend, JP?
Just another degenerate sweet long that I got into last night. Take profit is now above my entry, so I'll get stopped out in profit if the market goes down. But
let's see what that trade looks like. What is that on? What time frame are you on, by the way?
I did like a 4-hour on that. Believe it or not, I could bring it up. Sure, let's bring up some SWE. SWE USDT. That was on a 4-hour. My entry was around like 90 cents. So it would have looked something like this. Just bring up the long position right around here. So I saw Bitcoin was reversing. I would love to show you Bitcoin on the 30-minute in a moment. But my stop loss for the SWE trade was right here under this 4-hour wick. And this could be a monster trade if we bring this up and shoot through this gap. Shoot through this big old gap and get a real reversal. You know, we're already at a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio right there, right? You know, but my plan is to ride my stop loss up, a trailing stop loss on this trade, and take this as far as it wants to go, man. 140, 150 SWE. You know,
you're getting greedy over here. What is that, 180 to 1 trade? What are we doing here, man?
Look at that, 14 to 1 trade. I like those. I like trades like that.
We all like those.
So, I said,
what was the validation to get in?
Bitcoin, and once Bitcoin moves, Solana wants to move, SWE wants to move. We start getting more speculative. So let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame. And remember, I said this was a time frame that pretty much told the story about the move up to 73,000 to 74,000, and it gave confirmation for the way down, because you see right around this area on the 4th, on March 4th, we ran up high, higher high, but we were getting lower lows on market cipher B here. And look at the money flow coming out. Then it just started looking bad. Had you just short it once it went into the red on the money flow, in the money, right? Still in the money. And it just looked really bad. But now look at this reversal, though. We have a change in character. I'm going to draw a trend line here. I would say right there was a change in character for Bitcoin. Money flow coming up. You see the momentum coming up. No divergence, there at all. It looks good to me. So that's what made me want to long some of the altcoins like SWE right now. And I'm ready to scalp Bitcoin really today.
Yeah.
Let's do some scalps.
So let me ask you this question. Do you think Bitcoin bounces there?
It may. Probabilistically, it may right here. You see the golden cross is just happening here with the 21 crossing the 200. And look at the wicks, strong wicks there. This is a 30-minute time frame. Once again, my compass right now. I would be willing to long that.
Really?
I would be willing to long that.
My only concern, JP, is that volume is increasing there.
Volume is in red volume.
Yeah.
Yes, I see that. Yeah, but that can easily turn green. Yeah, true.
It can.
Let me show you one other thing. I know you don't like to look at these big time frames sometimes, but I think we need to check.
Wait, who said I don't?
I thought you were one of those minute men.
Hey, chill out, man. I'm the 5-minute man. All right.
Okay.
Look at those. Look at those.
Look at that. Look at that fresh green printed dot on the last candle. That was on a weekly time frame, right there. So this candle just closed like what was it, yesterday? Sunday. We're in a new candle right now, but that green dot is confirmed. And the last time we got a green dot move on the weekly, look what we did. We basically filled the bear flag. So even if we don't get the big reversal to 98,000, we can at least fill another bear flag, right? Take some scalp longs here. So this helps me have a bias of long as of right now. That looks good. Green dot on the weekly. Let's look at some other time frames here.
Wait, didn't you have a 2-week chart where it would give us like super hopium?
Yes, I did have that. Yeah.
Can you share that with maybe the people that weren't here when you?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
You know what?
Quick.
You jokingly said it's like super hopium, but it was legit. I mean, it's not like you're pulling shit out of your what.
I like probability, and all we could do is kind of measure past performance here. It doesn't guarantee the future, right? But we can only measure and kind of calculate the probability. But look at this. In Bitcoin's history on this chart, going back to 2018, we've only been this oversold on the weekly on market cipher B, 2 times before, as you can see.
You mean bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly, 2-week chart, okay? So you see we had this, oversold, trigger wave, green dot, major move. Oversold, trigger wave, green dot, major move. Fake out, but still major move. And remember, we said that this was the absolute bottom of the bear market right here.
It was in
this
2022.
level. Exactly. And here we are again, oversold. Could it be a trigger wave with a green dot? That prints, I may get very bullish on the medium time frames, bullish until it shows me we're not bullish. So I don't know. I'm ready to scalp.
That's the 2-week, and in the 2-week was the I saw you had some like kind of bear flags drawn out there.
Yeah, here's some bear flags here. So even if it's not the major reversal, we could still long this up to 73,000.
Now, looking at like that first bear flag you drew there, JP.
Yes.
If we can bring that back up, looking at that, and you correspond that with market cipher B.
Mm-hmm.
As it was rising up, was momentum going down?
Let's see. Rising up, momentum going down. Yes, it was. And right now we're rising up and
momentum's kind of clipped.
Well, yeah. It looks like it wants to round out, maybe kind of curve up, but it's just kind of flat right now, right?
Yeah.
But look at the VWAP though, too, the yellow line. Let's see how that compares. Was it sliding before? Let me make this just a little bit bigger. It was actually coming up. It's coming up just like it is now. So it could just be another bear flag dump.
Also, higher low on VWAP as well. On this move, this kind of flag versus the previous flag. If you see there.
I do see that. Yes, it is higher.
So, longer term, obviously 2 weeks to me is more medium to long term. I mean, we're closer to a bottom than we are to the top. I mean, that's fairly obvious.
Agreed.
So, We'll see. We'll see if we can catch some, find some trade setups in the show today. I do want to cover a couple of pieces of news. Here's the first piece of news. Michael Saylor. And, we've gotten Rob's takes on this. You guys have gotten my takes on this. I'm curious to get JP's take on this. So they bought another 18,000 Bitcoin at 71,000. This man just buys the top. Yeah. And as of today, they hold 738,731 Bitcoin with their average price now well above current trading price at $75,862. Now, there's two sides to this, right? I'm not going to beat a dead horse because I've given my thoughts.
Yeah.
You have one side like, oh my God, this is great. They're buying my Bitcoin. The other side is like, at what point do they become a systemic risk if something happens? If Saylor dies and the next person steps in and they're just not as bullish. They're like, we're sitting on, $100 billion we're sitting on $100 billion of Bitcoin. What are we doing here? Let's sell half of it. So anything can happen. Or if the company completely blows up, which I'm not saying there's any inklings of it or it's going to happen, but if the company blows up, that's a shitload of Bitcoin that needs to be bought, right? So JP, like, what side of the aisle do you land on? Do you look at it as a net positive every time you see this, or are you starting to get a little uneasy like I am?
I would say it's mostly a positive for me. Saylor, he's the ultimate Bitcoin maxi. He's the mascot of Bitcoin. He's setting the blueprint, for a Bitcoin treasury. Showing that it's possible. I commend the man's commitment. He's DCAing over time. He has a very bad track record. Buys are very bad. He's always buying the top, like you said. But he's consistent. If you consistently buy at a bad price, it eventually becomes a good price, right? I'm not too worried about it. I think this is more hope than anything. That Bitcoin it's not over with, and he has a lot of debt that worries a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. I'm not
Mike
worried
Tyson
at all.
Says, right, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, seriously, I'm not worried.
Hopefully he doesn't get punched in the face anytime soon. This was a big piece of news too. The NASDAQ. So we've kept hearing rumors and kind of, hey, we're going to go 24/7 on stock trading via blockchain. And so take a look at this. NASDAQ partners with Kraken to tokenize stocks on his exchange.
Okay.
So sorry, I got sidetracked there for a second. NASDAQ has confirmed it has partnered with Kraken to develop tokenized versions of its listed stocks and ETFs directly on its exchange. The initiative will focus on corporate governance and improvements, including automating proxy voting and streamlining dividend payments using blockchain technology. So I guess the news here isn't because we know that this is going to happen, but them selecting Kraken, it's just interesting. I figured Coinbase would make sense. They're a publicly traded company. They're on the NASDAQ. Maybe it was that reason they didn't go with Coinbase's, but that just, I don't know. Either way,
the deal made sense. Maybe it was just a better deal. I don't know.
Money-wise, it's like the strip casinos, right? Well, I was like, why is it always Pepsi in the fountains? In the fountain? Because they pay more money. So maybe Kraken did pay more. But since we're on the topic of the NASDAQ, now, in general, I think this is very bullish. We always talk about it, and the complaint always is, well, when bad news rolls out Friday after the markets close, the only liquid markets that anyone can go risk off is in crypto, specifically Bitcoin.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Stocks are about to be in that category as well. But since we're on this subject of kind of macro and the NASDAQ and the S&P, I'm just here looking at the traditional markets, okay? Dow Jones down 0.84%, 400 points. S&P down almost 0.5%. NASDAQ is even, though. Very interesting. The VIX is down, which is good. We saw a massive move in crude oil. Maybe we'll take a look at that chart as well.
We really should.
We should. Okay, you know what, JP? I'm going to send it over to you. Why don't we start with maybe I know you like to look at the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to look at like the Dow or the S&P, feel free. And then let's take a look at our crude oil chart after that as well.
Sure. Well, NASDAQ is here. Like you said, we are basically at break even for the day. It was a big dump at the open this morning. And look at that big move up, coinciding with Bitcoin, a little consolidation, and about at, break even, from the open, and from the close from Friday. So, this can go either way, but it looks good. It looks decent.
You don't sound too confident.
Yeah, it can go either way. But let's look at the S&P, since we always just look at the NASDAQ. Let's do that. Let's look at the SPY. This is like the ETF for it. And it looks very similar, right? But it's just a little lower.
It looks almost identical.
Yeah, it's pretty much identical. That's why I usually don't do both.
Yeah.
I usually stick with the NASDAQ. But it looks almost identical. So, I mean, there's some recovery. But let's zoom out and go all the way to a weekly chart. I was kind of looking at this earlier, and it made me a little bit worried, right?
That's not good.
Because, once again, almost a change in character here. Put a trend line. Here, if you break below some of these lows, like especially like right here, and that's not that far away, you can get a major correction here,
When you say major correction, you think what, 20%, 15%?
Yeah, 20%. Well, 20% is bear market for traditional markets, NASDAQ. So, I would do like a fib from the April lows. Let's do that. Let's do like a fib. And maybe, let's say, in worst case, you get a 50%. Well, what if you come down to 600 on SPY? What if you do something like this? And that's fine. That's still bullish overall. A lot of people get super bearish when they see a correction like this, but it's kind of overdue, so it's fine.
It's been nothing but up and to the right for so long.
Exactly. Look at that. And it's losing steam. It's losing momentum. You can see it right there as it's sliding out on Market Cypher B as well. You want to look at some oil?
Yeah, man. That was...
So I haven't looked at any oil charts, believe it or not, but I've heard it in the news, and you kind of could have predicted this with war, and the supply lines getting cut off with with all the conflict over there. You could have predicted this big spike up, but look at the wick down. This is a weekly chart, by the way. I'm just looking at a weekly. Let's zoom out. We need context.
Go to the hour, man.
Yeah, let's go to the hour.
Look at the hour time frame.
Oh wow. Okay, let me zoom in. Yeah.
So that gap was the open, and it's given almost everything back.
Yeah, I see. But if we look at it in the big scheme of things, that was somewhat needed. Once again, let's do a fib. I guess it'll be fair enough to do it from maybe down here. Look at that, 618 golden pocket zone. Maybe it comes down to the 786, and maybe it's time to go long on crude oil. Maybe in that zone. Yeah, crude oil, yeah, and bring it on up to 130. Is that 130 a barrel? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I like that. I've been wanting to trade
bro.
commodities.
You like that? That means like $5 a gallon for gas again. I am not.
Yeah, I don't.
Guys,
mean to be
but listen, hear me out here. This is a hedge against the gas stations. Okay, you long the futures because if gas prices go up and we're hurting for a tank of gas here in the near future, at least we made money on a trade, right?
Absolutely.
The ultimate hedge strategy. You're very welcome. Join me for more life hacks. Is there anywhere to trade this in crypto land?
Good question.
That you know of? I don't.
Does anybody in the chat know? I would like
That's
to
also
know.
a great
Seriously, I would like more commodities, more tokenized assets on all exchanges. I like to see that on Kraken, Bitunix. I love tokenized. That's the true utility, and blockchain. I would love to see more tokenized assets and commodities.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Let's give some love to the chat, man. I'm just going to run through here and say what's up to some people. First and foremost, shout out to all the mods in here. Looks like we got a new regular. Thanks to you, JP. Legendary God King.
Shout out to God King.
Is a big fan of you. David is rich as fuck. No, I'm not. Quick Cat said hola. And AB said Tau. We're going to look at Tau here in a second. AB, so stick around. Let's see. JP make me FOMO. Hey, JP. And then Flatsmack said, I bought some MSTR for my IRA. Guys, and JP, feel free to chime in here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you believe that Bitcoin is going to reverse or going to put in a new high over the next 2 years, MSTR might be the biggest risk to reward play to exist in the markets right now.
I totally agree.
You do?
I did. I bought some actually too. Yeah, I agree.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, well, number one, Flatsmack, good job. I think you'll be happy in a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the time frame is, as long as Bitcoin doesn't go to 0 or 8,000, because that's where they're screwed apparently. But JP, for the people that are sitting here watching us and be like, oh yeah, man, you know what? I think you're right. What's like a clean entry level if you want to try to get a premium entry on MSTR?
Now? Okay. Well, take a look. I do have the weekly chart here for Master. We're down 74%, 75% from the all-time high. Wow. Right? It's like an entire completed cycle there.
Yeah.
It can get worse,
Always get worse.
But it's way better than buying up here at the top, right? For sure. So let's look at the key levels. There's definitely a key level here where we're at right now. I think that's a good DCA zone. Don't throw your entire life savings at it, but, maybe throw a portion of something there. And where's the next key level? Basically right here, right? This zone. And that is price action $26.
Fuck.
Oof. We're at like 137 right now, 135 area.
You think we get that low?
How big of a drop is that? Whoa, another 80%. Sheesh.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we get that low.
All right, well, to be fair, there's another zone here. How about this zone? Look at that. We're looking for just previous price action, previous volume, that what we can use, as an entry. And 72. So really 72 comes first, and then you get about, $30. 72 and $30. What I would do is I would first think about how much I want to invest, total. And then I would divide that by 3. I would do 1/3 purchase right now. I would do a second purchase around 72, and then the third and final purchase around $30 and let that sit for 2 years. Like you said, and that's the plan. That's the DCA investment plan there for Master. If you believe in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is ever gonna, recover and hit all-time highs, Master certainly will as well.
Amen. I actually have a little bit of a shorter time frame, some levels here.
Okay.
So if you take a look at my chart, this is MSTR on the 4-hour, and just a clear trend line that we've tapped 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We had a slight deviation on a wick twice, but we've closed above this level almost every single time, going back to the beginning of February, so about a month ago. And so this level here, this trend line, if we're going to get another bounce, you guys, if it's on this 4-hour candle, let's say it happens over the next, 8 to 24 hours, anywhere between 133.27. Let's call it $133 to $134. That is your short-term, short time frame support level for MicroStrategy as far as trading along this trend line. This is a daily time frame here. Obviously, we have the same exact trend line here, just obviously a lot less candles.
Yeah.
But I am going to just quickly see if there's any bullish divergence here. So no bull div I'm seeing here, and we're just looking at the lows.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Right, we're looking at this low here. Oh no, excuse me. We're looking at this low here, which this was your RSI on the low, and then this low here. So you had lower low on the price action, and RSI also had. No, RSI had a higher low.
Yeah.
But just barely, right?
I would still call that some type of divergence. It's not strong. You want that.
It is pretty weak, but it's there. It's weak, but it's there. And so does this say that, MicroStrategy is going to just absolutely explode in price over the next, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks? No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. I will say here on the daily, we did just get a reversal indicator here from Market Cipher Flash, and the last time this flashed, you guys, wick open to low, it went down 45%. Not saying it's going to happen again, right? Past performance does not indicate future performance. But yeah, also 1 hour looks to be a little bit of a bull flag unless this thing got invalidated. Did this get invalidated? It did not get invalidated. It's trading above its 50. For me, invalidation for flags or, you know, like the handle part of a cup and handle is a 50 is breaking the 50. If you breach the 50 on a close, it's invalidated. This one has not. It's actually wicked down to the 50% fib level at 135.74, and it's caught a bounce every single time.
Gotcha.
1, 2, 3. And so this measured move, if it does break and this does pan out, let's say it is from the 50, if I can grab it. This should take MSTR up to above $143, which is about a 5% move.
Okay.
Not bad. And this is on the hour time frame. So chance of this happening, if it does play out, should be within 24 hours, right? Because if it gets into too long of a consolidation, then at that point you're like, okay, well, maybe it's not a bull flag anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, all depending on Bitcoin, of course, you know, being that it's so tied to it. But yeah, I can see that.
Or is Bitcoin tied to MSTR?
Dun, 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 dun.
I want to kind of take a look at the markets, and then we'll get into some altcoin news here. We'll get into some Tau. We're going to talk a little bit about Avalanche. So looking at the top, we'll look at the top 10, then we'll go to the crypto bubbles. Bitcoin sitting at 68,631, up on the day, down on the week, down on the 90-day. ETH above $2,000. This is the second biggest gainer in the top 10. Ethereum up 4.4%. BNB up 3.78%.
Nice.
At $636. XRP at $1.36. Solana at $85. That is your highest gainer in the top 10. Tron down, Doge and Cardano up slightly. And then when you look at the crypto bubbles, biggest gainers on the day, Hyperliquid up 14%. Sui,
baby.
Up 6.7. Siren. Do we still not know what the hell this is?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. And then Tau. Tau.
Bittensor.
Let's look at subnet performance. You know what's funny, guys? We've talked about, I asked you guys, should I rotate my Venice profits over to Tau? I think overwhelmingly you guys said yes. And I did. Not all of it, but I did. And what a great decision that was. So shout out to the chat. Also shout out to me as well. Tau up 8.7% on the, let's actually compare. Let's go back here. Ooh, that was my Telegram chat. Close that out. No confidential information. So Tau, where is Tau? Tau. So you got Bittensor here. That's up on the week. It's up 2%. On the 1 month, up 13%. 24-hour up 8.5%. If you look at Triple V, 24-hour down 9%, and on the 1 week down 33%. So this was the correct move, and my next move might be from Tau to Virtuals.
Okay.
But let's stop at Tau for a second. The people watching, and you know, JP, you've been around for a little bit. You know, I'm a big Tau guy.
I do.
I'm very bullish on Bittensor. I just believe in AI. I believe in what Bittensor is doing. And you have subnets that are launching practical customer forward-facing products like Ridges, Subnet 62. They're coming out with a monthly subscription. You pay in fiat, just like you pay for your ChatGPT subscription. And it's like 10x cheaper than inference with ChatGPT or any other large language models. So there's a lot happening in the Bittensor ecosystem. It just went through its first ever halving in December. Bittensor chart, tell me what levels to look for. We had a rally. Where should it pull back to? And if you see a setup for a trade that we can get in right now, JP, feel free to share that as well.
Sure, I'll take a look. And so Bittensor.
Just don't give me no bad news, I swear to God.
Don't worry, I'll keep it biased for you. But Bittensor, if I'm not mistaken, it has similar tokenomics to Bitcoin, right?
Exact same tokenomics.
21 million coins, right?
21 million coins.
Same halving schedule or what?
Not a little different halving schedule, but well, as far as how many tokens.
Okay.
I think it's a lot faster.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But either way, it's a 4-year halving cycle,
Yeah.
just like Bitcoin.
Yeah,
and it has its first one in December.
I've been trying to do my research on Bittensor here, you know, because AI, utility, but it seems like you kind of got to be a developer right now to really take advantage of the AI capabilities, you know, and what I'm interested in it. But as far as the chart, let's take a look. I'm looking at a 4-hour right now, and this doesn't look too bad. We're above some moving averages here, the 200, the 50, and the 21. And this is given like that. Remember that new pattern I came up with, the double Siamese inverted head and shoulder? It's really just an inverted complex head and shoulder, but
nah, dude, the Siamese ones are fun. You got to keep it fun, man.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look too bad to me. Let's go down to a 1 hour. Look at that bull flag, nice money flow. You know, maybe there's a trade right there. Look at the stochastic RSI, nice and low for you. I like that 1 hour trade if you're trying to get into a trade for the next few hours, possibly.
Tell me now, where do I go? Right now?
Okay, well, let's
that red X kind of scares me though, man, on a green candle.
Yeah, the market side. Yeah, I did activate my market cipher A here so we can kind of see that. Yeah, I agree. But I do like the wick. I do like the support from the 21. Let's see what a trade might look like here. If you want a limit order a little bit lower. Look at it moving right now in real time.
And which, by the way, you know, I said a word about the red X, but there's a very good chance the red X could just go away.
Yeah, it hasn't printed. You need another 23 minutes for that to actual print and be confirmed. But a high risk trade right now, I would say, is on that 1 hour entry around now, but you could put your limit order just below price, maybe around a 21 MA. And stop loss at 189.6. Take profit at 204. And that's a 3.5 risk reward ratio.
Solid.
I would say high risk just because of volatility with Bitcoin. But that's a 1 hour. Let's look a little closer. Let's look at that, maybe a 15-minute. Okay. That doesn't look too great. A lower high coming down. RSI is low though. I would pull maybe like a fib if you were to trade these smaller time frames. 5 minute, you're losing a 200 MA. You got some yellow X's. You know, it looks bearish on the smaller time frames right now. All right, 1 minute. That's not too bad. I like that. Any bull div there?
Inverse head and shoulders there on the 1 minute, huh?
Yeah, definitely for sure. And it looks like it's like right at the neckline right now. Right there. Like, what if you traded that and like put a stop loss below like the 50 and the 200 right here?
That would be a pretty tight one, huh?
Yeah, that would be really tight. And once again, high risk. I think all of this is high risk right now.
Yeah.
But let's see. What if you entered around now, stop loss around here, and you took this up? Let's look to the left. Take it up to the next volume area, right about there. That's a nice 4.45 risk reward ratio.
Good trade.
That's a decent trade right there, and this is 1 minute, so this is you'll find out really soon
whether you're right or wrong,
whether this plays out or not. So entry around now, a stop loss is 191.9, and take profit at 197.9.
Beautiful. And then I'm also looking at BitTensor. What I saw in the hourly, I kind of drew a fib.
Okay.
From 180.73 up to 199.84. And we wicked down to the 50. There's confluence there with our 50% retracement on the Fibonacci.
Okay.
But with also our VWAP lower band sits right there as well. And so as you can see that, I'll remove market cipher A. You can see VWAP and your 50. There's some confluence there. We broke below the VWAP mid band. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, that 1 hour, oh no, I was gonna say the 1 hour red X went away, but it's just because I took market cipher away.
I like that a lot.
And so, but this worries me a little.
Isn't that one of the trades I just called, the 1 hour right there for Tal?
You did. We were looking at the same chart. I was just I was just showing that there's confluence with.
I like that.
With some support. The only thing I'll say is, could we come into a little bit of an M pattern here that should ultimately fall to the downside? I don't know. What do you think about that?
You could say maybe it's already an M pattern. I don't know. Double top.
Here's a 30-minute. Usually we can see a lot clearer on the lower time frames. Same idea, right? Coming in, double top into a bear flag. and a break to the downside. Let's see what this measured move would be.
Get in on a bearish retest there.
And your bearish retest, that measured move brings you down to your 786, which is 184.82.
Short it down to the 786 and then long it once you get there.
Yep.
There you go.
So for me at least, there's too many mixed signals for me to confidently enter into a trade. We see a bull flag on the 1 hour. We see an M pattern start to form on the 30-minute, or excuse me, on the 1 hour. 30-minute, I think, shows that M pattern, going in to fill out the flag portion of the bear flag, right? That's the final step of completing the M, is that bear flag that breaks to the downside. And so for me, there's too many mixed signals. I want to see what price does. If the only negative would be we missed a move to the upside, but fine, whatever, right? But I want to see what happens at the 50, and I want to see what happens at the 786 if the bear flag breaks to the downside. So
that's fair.
The other one, JP, that I kind of mentioned, I said, I moved from Venice to BitTensor. If we see a rally above 220 on BitTensor and Virtuals is still kind of below 70 cents, I think that could be my next rotation. What are you seeing on Virtuals protocol? And while you're pulling that up, I'll just kind of show this here. Virtuals is down 63% from its December high. ACP agent-to-agent revenue up 128% to $3 million in the same period. So revenue is up 128% while the price of the token is down, right? There's a discrepancy there. X402 payment standard owns 99% of agent commerce volume. It is integrated with Stripe. Google and Visa are building on it. 3,421 agents competing for $1 million monthly builder incentives. The gap between fundamentals and price closes one way or the other. Epoch 3 revenue above $6 million confirms the flywheel is compounding. So, what does Virtuals look like?
Comparatively to what we were just looking at BitTensor, Virtuals is way under the moving averages, like the 200 MA, for example. But look at this major bullish divergence here. Bring this up from this price to this price, and look at the momentum there and a stochastic RSI. Major bullish divergence, which has played out, but look at this handle coming down to retest the neckline here. So there's somewhat of a bullish retest going on right now on the 1 hour. This could be a move up. This could be a move up from here.
Where did you see the bull div on the 1 hour?
The 1 hour, yeah. Yep. So right around from 3/7, March 7th.
Oh yeah, this is pretty big bullish divergence.
Yeah, between yesterday and today, there's a huge discrepancy between the price and the momentum.
This might be the trade right here, my friend.
Agreed. And look how much room. If this thing gets to moving, the next resistance is going to be at the 200 MA, really up here. So we can go ahead and see what this trade would look like.
I'm gonna get into a long here. 65, 64. All right, so here's a trade for you guys. I'm gonna put this in myself. We're gonna enter in at $65. What was it? 65, 62. 65, 62. Let's go 65, 65. Open long. We'll set our stop loss. We'll give ourselves a little room here. Let's go ahead and I'll put this up. We're gonna go long here. We'll set our stop loss below this low. And TP, where did you say is that 200 MA?
Yeah,
TP?
it's gonna be around 70. So 70 cents, just about 70 and 702. Yeah, so I would go somewhere around 76.
Let's go 76 cents?
70.6?
Yes.
70.6.
Let's just keep it at 70.
Okay.
That's a 10-to-1 trade. So, okay,
wow,
so yeah. So stop loss at 65.11.
I like that.
Let's go drag that down. Stop loss 65.11. TP at 70 cents. So if we nail the trade, we'll make $1,100. If we miss the trade, we'll lose $140. Cool. Again, just for those of you that are watching, and this is also on the 15-minute falling. The only thing I'll say is, well, I guess the lows are intact for now, right? The lows are intact for now. I'm gonna move my limit order up, right there.
Yeah, you got the room and a risk reward ratio. Why not?
Because we're gonna try to tap. We're gonna try to tap that right there. Stop loss below this low here, and TP at 70 cents. There we go. Okay, so limit entry at 65.82. Stop loss at 65.04. Take profit at around 70 cents, not higher. So 69.9, 69.8, whatever you want to do. I have mine as 69.97. And so originally I had it down there at our VWAP, but with this trend line intact and seeing the strong bounce here from virtuals, I want to get in on the retest here again.
Okay.
And so yeah, man, that's kind of my trade setup. You like it?
I like it.
Don't lie to me, bro.
I like buying things in a discount. It's a great discount, great bullish divergence. I think you got to move inbound. You know what we haven't looked at today?
What?
The liquidity charts.
Yes, show me.
Yeah, take a look here, man. 5-minute time frame liquidity chart. Look at all that juicy liquidity to the upside, concentrated liquidity. But there's also some very small bands to the downside, right? You got some longs coming in and stop losses down there. But the majority of it and the concentration right now on the small time frames is to the upside. So, you know, that kind of makes me still want to scalp long on Bitcoin. And
For JP, and we typically show this on the morning show or on the trading show, but for those that don't understand what it means, like what does it mean? Like the shaded areas and can you just like do a quick explanation for the people?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me what it means.
Hey, there he is.
Hey.
All right, so we're looking at a liquidity heat map chart right now. And this is for futures on Binance. And what we're looking at is actual liquidity. Their stop losses, liquidation stop losses for active traders. All that liquidity to the upside is short liquidity.
Which means?
Which means that people went short in the markets and their stop losses and liquidation levels are above them, you know? And so that's what we're looking at. You know, most people are short is what that's saying.
Got it.
Most people are short. So that kind of it tells you two things. It tells you like a direction in the market. Okay, most people are bearish right now, but at the same time, if there happens to be a reversal, that it could be a short squeeze, a big short squeeze to the upside. And the color matters because that's the concentration. Like the red is heavily concentrated in that price range. And if you look way to the right, you can even see like a volume there, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of coincides with the concentration level. So red is the most concentrated. Yellow is like, you know, medium concentrated, you know, right after that. And then green and then blue is the least concentrated.
Look at all that volume. We're talking about the orange, right?
There you go. Yeah. Look at the volume. Yeah. So you can see the difference between the top level liquidity and the lower level liquidity.
So JP, does this essentially mean that if we climb above, what's that price at there? 69.8?
Yeah, so 69,466. If we get into that liquidity zone.
So if we take that level and get up to 70K, is there a good chance that it's going to be a continuation to the upside?
Yes, there's a good chance that basically it'll be like a domino effect. You know, it's like lighting fire. I look at liquidity as like tinder, you know, it's just kind of potential energy there. And I look for gaps in the liquidity to kind of show me like where we might stop. There's a very small gap at 70,000. That's the most likely stop if we get up there.
You think that's enough though for a stop?
No, it's not enough. It's not a lot. No,
above that.
Yeah, there's a way bigger gap way up here. Look, there's a small gap at 71. There's a huge gap at 72. Yeah, and then you zoom out, and you know, yeah. So the biggest gap is at really 72,400, and we could look down.
And to the downside, you know, if you put the logic in reverse, if we break below 65K, we're probably going to start seeing cascading liquidations. That's why 65K held yesterday, yes?
Sure. Yeah.
I believe that we went down.
Well,
to
let's look at
65K.
it. The beautiful thing is we can see what happened here. So look, so we scooped some of that liquidity to the downside here. Late last night, it looks like it was before the reversal. And look, there was so much more liquidity to go too. You know, you would think that would have actually cascaded down. So you can't, so nothing is 100%. You know, sometimes it's liquidity, liquidity. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, the market's just going to
liquidity, what?
liquidity, liquidity. The market is going to do whatever it wants to do, you know, but
Never heard that. Liquidity, shimmalability.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, sometimes, you know, we scoop some and it could just be a reversal. It could just be a quick grab, a quick liquidity grab, and we reverse. You know, maybe we just wanted to concentrate liquidity and then we made our way up, you know, to the next side. So nothing is 100% certain, you know, just because it's there or even just because it's above us doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily take it. But it's just, you know, once again, we do everything in terms of probability, right? So it's more probable that we take that top side liquidity right now.
Beautiful. Sorry, I'm monitoring my trade. I'm hoping I'm going to get an entry here on virtuals. I'm a few ticks away. Looks like I'm about, come on, no, don't reverse. Well, get me in first, man. Put me in, coach. Put me in before you start to reverse, you dirty dog. Yeah, I'm trying to nail the trend line here. Which trade might go away from me. Should I market order this bitch or should I just be patient?
No.
Be patient?
Be patient. Trading is a game of patience.
All right, Zen Master. Let's start calling you Phil. You know Phil Jackson? Phil compliment. Greatest coach ever.
Sure. Yeah. One of the coaches or something like that.
Yeah, he was. He coached Jordan, Kobe, 10 championships, 12 championships. So the best coach ever.
Yeah.
And he was known as a Zen Master.
Hey, no way. There you go. I like that.
Or I can call you PJ, Phil Jackson. What do you prefer? Phil, PJ, or your OG name? PJ is reverse of JP.
It is. Ooh, yin yang. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm kidding, JP. You don't got to really put that in the thought. He's actually considering. He's like, well, it would be kind of cool, man, but I don't know, man.
Give me a cool one, man. Make it good, man. You know?
All right, yeah, Phil's kind of boring.
I like Zen Master, though. I like that, but give me something cool.
All right, we'll come up with a cool one. I'm sure Rob, I was already thinking of it. Hey, Rob, can you join
What
us?
about PB&J?
PB&J?
Yeah.
AP&J.
I don't like that.
No?
No. So what's up, man? We talked a lot today. Any thoughts you want to give to the people watching?
No.
No. You got nothing to say. Rob has nothing to say.
No. Nah, you know what? It's just we've just been seeing the sideways chops of indecision in the markets. You know, we've seen the rallies of the push-ups to that, you know, $70,000 range, and then we got it immediately rejected back down to 65,000. And you know, I would say one thing: if you know, what I think is that, you know, being at 65,000 or, you know, or going down to 65,000, I think is a strong indicator that we're likely going to ping pong here at this range. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us back up to that, you know, $70,000 range within the next 48 hours. So for me, I like the longs. I feel like we'll probably go up and test that 70,000 range. That's where I'm at. As far as the Michael Saylor buying, I mean, it's just on cue. You know, it's he's as expected as a Bitcoin miner. You know, randomly mining Bitcoin, except for he's just randomly buying Bitcoin with frequent intervals. And then still a big fan of Tau. And what else did we touch on today?
We talked virtuals.
Virtuals, yeah. Yeah, I think AI likely will see another push. And it's been a while since we had that strong push in AI. And so myself personally, I think that we're probably going to get another big run. Seems like the privacy cryptos are taking a breather. And so I think the narrative is going to shift back to AI. And, you know, how big of a push? I don't know. I think it'll likely come if Bitcoin gets above 70K and consolidates. Will it be right at 75K as an example, or will it be further down in the market when Bitcoin rallies back up to 80,000? I still think that we're in this double top scenario. I don't think that we're washing out the bull market just yet. I think we're taking a breather. We're consolidating. We're selling off. We're shaking out the scared money. The same thing happened in 2021. Don't forget, a lot of people thought it was over once Bitcoin got to that 59,000, and then we essentially double topped, or we crashed all the way down. We lost 50% from peak to trough last bull market, and you know what? We're not too far off of 50% peak to trough in this bull market, and we also saw that same thing happen. Back in 2014, we got a double top, and so I think that's what's going to happen. Also, there's just been a lack of anything extremely broken and where you just absolutely take the confidence out of the market, right? I think that people know that Bitcoin's here to stay, so because of that reason, what you're going to see is as Bitcoin's price drops, people are just going to see the value. Versus in the past, like in 2021, when we were actually going into the bear market, you had exchanges blowing up. You had Terra Luna unwinding. You saw cascading liquidations, uncertainty. The SEC was stepping up. And so people were unsure of the direction of the market. They weren't sure how Bitcoin would come back. They didn't know if the SEC was going to become more aggressive. We haven't seen that yet. And so from that perspective, I'm a very sentimental person. I treat my ladies with respect, and I also treat the charts with respect. And we haven't seen that puke on yourself moment. Every cycle it comes.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man, but I maybe not puking myself, but I was shit myself. I don't know.
Did Bitcoin make you do that?
I'm telling you, dude. I mean, the short term's hard to predict. That's why, I come in here and I'm like, you know what, guys? I think that the market's going to turn. We're going to be back above 70,000, 75,000. That's impossible, right? And if I know it, or you guys knew what direction the market was going to be next week, we obviously would be in a better financial position than we are currently. But that I'm unsure. But the thing is that barring some outside crazy situations like pandemics or politics or whatever it is, it seems like we haven't had a washout yet. And when you wash out, it's usually off the back of some scary news that makes people lose confidence in crypto entirely. And that's just not the vibe. And because institutions are here and they have an ability to buy, as the price keeps dropping, people are going to see the value. They're gonna jump on it. So yeah. That's where I stand. And yeah, I still think we're going to get more upside. I just don't know when. I don't know when the breakout's going to be. I was thinking it was going to be this week, hopefully next week, but I don't think it's that far away. One last thing to touch on: we do have a new Fed chair coming in T-minus, I think 60 days or less than. And so when that happens, expect rates to get cut. The last bull market literally moved with, it took off. It was at the bottom of the bull market, or basically the big breakout came when we put interest rates down to zero. And the top of the last bull market came when we started raising the interest rate. And I think we're going to see some aggressive cuts. I don't doubt for a second that Donald Trump isn't going to elect somebody that is hyper aggressive and lowering rates. Especially, one last thing to say, you have the Iran situation. Oil prices are skyrocketing at $115 a barrel now, all-time high on gas prices. Supposed to get worse if we see $200 a barrel on oil. You're talking about in California $10 gallon of gas, and elsewhere in the country, probably $6 to $8. And so if that happens, we know once the oil prices go up, that's kind of like the lifeblood of the U.S. economy. We move freight around with oil, and if that goes up, I think we're gonna get flashing signals of recession, and I think the Fed will come in and cut rates, and I think that will be a catalyst to Bitcoin skyrocketing. Skyrocketing. Let's go.
We're going to skyrocket out of here. I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. And we'll be back tomorrow for the trading show. Rob, roll the outro.
I don't know where the outro button is.
We don't know what the outro is. Rob,
Oh, I found it.
you're fired. I can't fire you. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cash is Cuvée. Yeah. Sin City, crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya, to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.